The Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Annette Montgomery. Now to our top story. After a student was accused of bringing a gun and drugs to Manchester High School just last week, officials say they're now making changes to their security protocols. School officials say they plan to roll out changes for student safety over the next few weeks and months. Here's Fox 61's Tim Lateau with what these changes are after even more frightening incidents inside the school.
Thursday, one student pepper sprayed another in the face after an argument. This comes a week after a student was arrested for bringing a loaded handgun to school in their backpack.
My guard has been up a lot lately, and to know that someone got pepper sprayed, it makes me kind of want to keep to myself more.
Some Manchester high school students are now on edge after a couple of startling incidents just a week apart. Now the district has plans to roll out a multi-part security plan in response, beginning on February 23rd. But not all students, like Madison Jones, feel it's the right move.
I just feel like it's just too much and it's very overwhelming, and how everything's changing. I feel like it's too fast for me personally because I'm not used to this.
According to Superintendent Matt Geary, the main entrance will be restricted to students, staff, and visitors. Parents who need to pick up their child will have to wait outside the building. There will be limited bathrooms in use, and each bathroom will be staffed with an adult outside. Bathroom use will also require a pass and sign-in.
To a degree is needed about the security or whatever, because it's it could put us at harm if there's some people who come in we don't know.
Within the next 8 weeks, a secure waiting area will be constructed in the vestibule to create a separate space for visitor check-in. Vape detectors will be installed in all bathrooms, and an internal emergency communication system with lights and signs will be installed in the hallways. Right now, there are no plans for metal detectors. Some students think installing them is the only way for complete security.
At least we should have metal detectors, in the near the entrances of the school, because I feel that's what matters the most.
I spoke with a staff member off camera who tells me the majority of staff are supportive of the changes, but that there needs to be balance. They say it still needs to feel like school, not like an airport or a prison.
I had metal detectors in my old school. Yeah, that was a lot. Metal detectors, it could be beneficial in a way, but it might take too long in the morning because if you're late, it does take a while.
And on February 23rd, Superintendent Geary will meet with the Board of Education in a closed-door session to go over his draft for a plan for public engagement on additional security strategies. In Manchester, Tim Lateau, Fox 61.
Thank you so much, Tim. Well, tonight, one elementary school's drop-off and pickup line is stirring up quite the confusion and traffic tickets. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot spoke with police, parents, and neighbors in Enfield.
Some parents that I spoke with who did not want to go on camera say rules are rules. They say when cars turn left at this intersection, it becomes very messy and dangerous.
There have been many instances where I've seen her come out into the middle of the street with her stop sign, and cars will still turn left into the driveway, and they're putting her life at risk and the kids.
Jillian Mathewson's youngest daughter attends Hazardville Memorial School and walks there every day. Mathewson says the crossing guard at the intersection is always put in a dangerous situation when cars go the wrong way into the school. She and other people in the neighborhood say despite there being a no left turn into the school to drop off or pick up students, some parents still do it.
There are weekly reminders that are emailed and in your parent square notification. The last 2 weeks, they've included the fact that the Enfield Police Department wants to remind everyone that this is against the law. So there have been plenty of warnings that have gone out. So it seems like it's just a comprehension issue at this point and not a fair warning.
Problem is a lot of people are very entitled about it, and they don't want to follow the rules. They endanger our cross guards here and at this crossing walk. They don't listen to them. I've heard people curse them, and then they get mad when the police come down and enforce it.
Enfield Police Chief Alaric Fox says the no left-hand turn sign has been up for 4 years.
It's been up since 2022. It's been in place to alleviate a public safety concern and a concern expressed by residents in this community.
He says the department and the school have done all they can to notify the public of this rule, and recently they have enforced this by ticketing offenders, which has some people upset.
Individuals receive a ticket and they don't think it's appropriate. They're welcome to plead not guilty to that ticket. However, the enforcement action on the part of this department and our officers, it is appropriate.
One parent who did not want to go on camera said, quote, "Turning into someone's driveway and turning around just to take a right is pointless." People who live near the school say parents who dismiss the sign need to get over it.
If you know that that's the way it's supposed to be, then you need to abide by it, because it's for safety, it's for kids' safety, it's for everybody's safety.
Chief Fox told me if parents don't like an officer's attitudes towards them, they can make a complaint with the police department. In Enfield, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
And there seems to be an issue with Sam's mic, but we will get back to him later on in the newscast. Right now, Meriden police are investigating a stabbing that happened earlier this afternoon. Officers responded just before 2 o'clock to the Meriden Mart and Deli on Pratt Street. Police say a 45-year-old man was attacked and stabbed inside the business. He was found conscious and alert with multiple stab wounds. If you have any information, please contact Meriden Police. And a New Haven judge has dismissed criminal charges against Officer Luis Rivera and 2 other officers ahead of their scheduled March trial. Now, they were facing misdemeanor charges, including negligent cruelty and reckless endangerment. Now, that's in connection with the 2022 arrest and transport of Randy Cox. Cox was left unrestrained in a police van when it stopped suddenly, causing him to strike his head and neck. He is now paralyzed from the chest down. The officer's attorneys called the prosecution unjust and politically motivated. Rivera also expressed sympathy for Cox and said he is ready to move forward. Right now, people living at the concierge apartments in Rocky Hill may have to look for another place to live yet again. Last week, tenants were told to leave due to building problems, including burst pipes, and were temporarily placed in hotels while those repairs were made. But this weekend, some of those hotel stays were cut short. Mahogany Russell told Fox 61 she and her brother were staying at a hotel in Cromwell, but were informed they had to leave because the rooms had prior reservations. Now, those reservations were made before the apartment issues.
Leasing office, they're not answering any calls. We end up having to pack up all our stuff again. I literally had to put all my stuff in my car, so I kind of feel like I'm living out of my car right now, and this is not my house. I'm at a friend's house right now. I just need somewhere to sleep.
And Fox 61 did reach out to that hotel. They told us the people who were told they had to leave were offered rooms at sister hotels during this time. They also said they would welcome them back after those rooms were available again. However, Russell says that sister hotel was too far away from where she goes to school, which is why she opted to stay with a friend. The city of New Haven's recent soft launch of its school bus camera program has already produced staggering numbers in just its first 2 weeks. Now, this program aims to increase student safety, forcing drivers to pay up if they don't stop while kids are loading and unloading from the bus. Fox 61's Aaron Coogan breaks down the new numbers.
Well, school's out here in New Haven, and we're talking about these new cameras installed along the side of the school buses here. And in the first 2 weeks of this pilot program being launched, nearly 1,000 warnings have been issued. Yes, you heard me right. 945 traffic violations have been captured on these little school bus cams since the city's launch of its newest student safety initiative in late January.
And they'll catch more, too. They'll catch more.
I believe you. I believe there's more than that. People don't respect traffic laws in New Haven.
That's with only about 30% of the fleet being outfitted with the cameras.
This is while we're installing the cameras, so it's not like all the buses had the cameras, so the number's even higher than that.
All 330 New Haven school buses are slated to be equipped with the new technology come the turn of the month. New Haven Mayor Justin Elliker says so far, violations have resulted in more than 500 warnings being sent out to drivers who failed to comply with Connecticut state law and come to a complete stop when a bus has its stop arm outstretched and its lights flashing. Come March 1st, though, he says those warnings will be replaced by actual tickets, forcing violators to cough up $250. Now think about this. If violations up to this point had been ticketed, we'd be looking at about $236,000 headed toward the city. And its money Mayor Elliker says is going right back to fund the program.
So the company fronts the money to install the cameras, and then over time we pay the company back for the funds. And so the program is designed to be revenue neutral. We don't want to be collecting a bunch of money from this. The goal is to keep people following the law.
New Haven parents praising what they say will bring accountability to drivers who don't follow the law and put vulnerable young people at risk.
Little ones, they don't know, they're thinking they're safe. Once that sign goes out, stop, that's the signal right there. But then, we have those people that are so much in a rush that they go right through it.
For Walter Vega, the issue of improving New Haven traffic is personal. While not in a school bus-related accident, he says it was just this past fall that his wife and 7-year-old son were killed in a crash in the city. He says if this prevents one other family from having to go through what he's going through, it will all be worth it.
Every day I wake up and I miss my kid. As a parent, I believe that everybody should agree on that because that's for the safety of the kids. That's all it is for. It's not for nothing else, just for the safety of the kids.
And again, with the program still being in the introductory phase, drivers that aren't found in compliance on the cameras are now just being issued a warning. But come March, you're going to see a fine in the mail. In New Haven, Aaron Coogan, Fox 61.